Hi, I'm Alexandra Ellis of aewellness, and I have a hamstring massage for you today. Hamstrings are quite the tricky beast. For people who are inflexible, it's nearly impossible to touch your toes and stretch them that way. And for those of you who are too flexible, backing off on the stretch can do some wonders. But instead of just pulling end to end on the hamstrings, there's a smarter way that we can stretch and create better hydration within the tissue, and it is with massage with a therapy ball. This is a Yoga Tune-Up Alpha Ball. This is my favorite tool for this task because of its size, but also its texture. The density is squishy. It does have give, which is important because there are a lot of nerves in the back of your leg, all over your body, but in the back of the leg, we're dealing with one of the largest nerves in the body, the sciatic nerve. So we want to be sure that we have a tool that can yield to the pressure. I do not recommend doing this with anything harder, golf balls, lacrosse balls, softballs, as they just do not have the pliability or yield that we need for these very delicate tissues. They may feel tough and fibrous, but they're not really that dense, and so we want to be sure that we don't overstretch. So to do this, you'll need a chair, and the reason for that is, again, the sciatic nerve. It runs down the back of the leg, and we want to be in a position where it's not on tension, which is where the chair comes in handy. You'll take the therapy ball, and you can do any size. I do like the alpha ball because I do this regularly, and the hamstrings are a pretty big muscle group, but if you do this and find it to be too intense, use a different size, whether you use the therapy ball plus or even the smallest classics. You can also do this with 2 therapy balls as well. That'll just lessen the intensity that the single ball will provide. Once you are in place, you will move your thigh from side to side. Now, I don't spend a lot of time sitting throughout my day. Yes, in the car, but I'm focused on driving. But this is something I do when I'm traveling, whether it's by train or airplane or car as a passenger. I always have a therapy ball along for the ride so that I can maximize my time in the chair. Other than that, I don't really spend a lot of time doing my hamstrings, but I definitely do when I'm seated. The movies is the other place where I do this because I need to move. I'm a mover. So you're moving your leg from side to side so that the therapy ball cross fibers across all of the hamstrings. And once you find a spot that feels pretty interesting, you can let the leg land there and then extend the knee. This will help to create a pin and stretch of the hamstring muscle fibers. We're not just stretching the muscles, we're also getting the fascias. And the nice thing about this is the hamstring is in a slackened position to start, so we're able to get a little bit deeper. Again, I don't recommend you do this on the floor because of that sciatic nerve. You definitely want a chair where you can control how much the knee extends. If while doing this you feel any type of electricity, hot, cold, nerve pain down the leg, just reposition the therapy ball or don't straighten your knee as much so that you don't elicit that response. You can place the ball anywhere along the back of the thigh. You could go really close to the knee or you could go higher up towards the hips. It doesn't really matter. And you can also increase the intensity if you wish by pressing down with this hand or crossing the opposite leg on top. This is going to be very, very intense. So if you find that your eyeballs suddenly are freezing out of your head, back off, take the leg off, and just work within a range and intensity that you can maintain your breath. So you want to be sure that you're breathing this entire time because we're trying to coax our nervous system into relaxation. So it's super important. Then another thing you can do, so we've moved the leg side to side, we've extended the knee. You can also wag this lower leg back and forth. And what that will do is run the therapy ball across the back of your thigh. When you find a position that feels interesting, we'll say, extend the knee once again so that we can create all of these different vectors of stretch into the hamstrings. I just found a spot. Feels awesome. So I would say spend anywhere from 2 minutes or more here. If it's right before your workout, definitely spend less time, staying closer to that 2-minute range, because it is possible to overstretch the hamstrings. This is stretching. If it's after your workout, feel free to spend a longer time and have a ball, literally. If you want to learn more about how to maximize your mobility and live pain-free in your body, check out my website at aewellness.com and make sure you subscribe and stay tuned right here for more videos.